100% what Sarri has been doing all the way leading up to this game. He has watched that game in the league about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. Son is a huge miss. I think for me, and again, Son was one of the instigators of that ass beating. Bada bing, bada bing, bada bing. It's huge, it's big, it's massive. Pause. First leg, Carabao Cup. I believe that this is a trophy that Tottenham are taking far more seriously than Chelsea. But as I say that, Sarri is desperate for a trophy because remember, Sarri is trophyless. It's no mean thing. I'm not trying to be rude or trying to be against him or anything, but he is trophyless. And that is why he has been playing Hazard in every single game. Even he's been playing Hazard in under 20, pre-19 and nursery games because he's so desperate to win a trophy and his first trophy as a top-tier professional manager. So I think really the theme here, well, not really theme, but I think there are two themes here. The theme for Chelsea is revenge. Tottenham were the first team that handed them their first L, and ever since that first L, it's psychologically led to losses against Leicester, losses against Wolves as well. And I think that loss was a very, very painful loss, just based on how resounding and how bad of a beating Chelsea took. And for Tottenham, their theme is, let's get a flipping trophy. We've waited too long, let's get a flipping trophy. Because I think Tottenham feel that if they can just get in a final, because Man City are already in the final. If Tottenham can get in a final against Man City, I think Tottenham are saying, nah, in a one-off game, let's ride. In a one-off game, winner takes all, let's ride. Not just on a league game or a cup game, in a one-off game, let's ride. So, and I believe for Tottenham, let's just focus on Tottenham first. I believe for Tottenham, Son is at the Asia Cup, so they're going to be missing him for the Asia Cup games and everything. So that's going to be a very big loss. So I think for Tottenham, what they would want to do and what Pochettino would want to do is let's do what we did so well against them in the league. But as he says that, we can't assume that these guys won't change up and think, because 100% what Sarri has been doing all the way leading up to this game, he has watched that game in the league about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. He studied the game and said, all right, David Luiz, we cannot make the same mistake. Jorginho, you have to be better. Kante, you've got to protect Jorginho a bit more. We've got to protect the ball a bit more. We've got to be smarter and sharper with the ball. We've got to move the ball a lot faster, and we have to slow the game down. We've got to hold on to the possession of the ball and restrict the kind of movements and the kind of run-on that Tottenham do. So those are all of the things that they'll be working on. So I really do expect it will be a different Chelsea. So in terms of Tottenham, I think for Tottenham and what Pochettino must want is that we have to aggressively imprint that same game onto Chelsea. That Poch will say to his boys that they're going to try and stop that game coming through. Going to stop us running. They'll try and keep possession of the ball, and they'll try and get Hazard into key dangerous areas. And for that, that's why Sissoko is going to be fully huge. He's going to be huge in this game, because I just think his midfield work, interception work, and him holding onto the ball and helping to really control the play for Tottenham is going to be very important. I think the key combination of Harry Kane and Dele Alli is going to be crucial. And I think if they can combine, get themselves in good spots with Eriksen coming in as a number 10, I really do feel that's going to cause Chelsea some issues. So for Tottenham, I just think it's a case of Pochettino saying to his guys that it's where we win the ball. Where if we can win the ball in key areas, expose them, I think Pochettino will say it doesn't matter what Sarri says to his boys. Jorginho is a weak point. Luiz is a weak point. If we pinpoint Jorginho and Luiz and we isolate them, we can get that ass. We can 100% get that ass. So I think for Tottenham, and look, it's going to be an interesting game. So let's just switch over to Chelsea right now. Callum, I think that's a good place to start. Will he start? Because Sarri now says that Callum Hudson-Odoi is he's finally on Willian and Pedro's level after so much hard work. Finally, he can now speak and he can now talk to Willian and Pedro. Yeah, yes, Hudson-Odoi, well done. You finally made it. You finally on Willian's level. Yeah. Awkward. So it's gonna, because for me, I say Hudson-Odoi should start. You know, because I think for Chelsea, having him in there is a great support system for Hazard, takes responsibility of Hazard. And I do believe if we're on the theme of like learning from the mistakes of that game in the league, Giroud has to start. Hazard, the false nine for Hazard, that is a completely stupid and an idiotic move to make against this Tottenham team. Maybe it worked against Man City, who don't do as much running and are a more technical-based team, against a team that does as much running as Tottenham do and play the ball as quickly as them. And it's at their crib as well. I say that you've got to start with Giroud. The counter-attack is not necessarily going to be on, which is what you would use Hazard for the false nine. But I just think that what is needed is better protection of the ball. I just think there needs to be better passing, better spacing, and they need to find those spaces with the ball. Because obviously, you know, it's easier said than done. If you've been pressed high up and you've got a lot of men around you, it's going to be very difficult to find that pass. So the key thing of beating the press is, where are your men who are off the ball? And also, you've got to have confidence in yourself with possession of the ball. You know, and I always liken this back to the 2013, the 2012-2013 Champions League second leg match between Bayern Munich and Barcelona, where Schweinsteiger had one of the best midfield performances up against an aggressive press of Barcelona, because he never panicked, he was always composed, and he always found his man. And I think that kind of composure from every Chelsea player will be needed. I think for Jorginho, I think what Jorginho does off the ball is going to be very important. I think his positioning, his reading of the game, and him protecting the defense of Luis and Rudiger will be very important. I think Luis as well, look man, don't get isolated. Don't get yourself isolated. Be wary and be smart, and you have to be two, 3 steps ahead. I don't think Luis must not put himself in a situation where he comes out of position or is going to make a last-ditch tackle, because that's what Tottenham will want. They would want that overlap, expose the overload, and then try to recycle and get themselves into transition to now force Chelsea to do some key hard running. So, but I think for sure this definitely is a game that calls for Giroud to start. I think a Giroud, Hazard, Callum Hudson-Odoi front three would be pretty tasty. You know, I think that would be pretty tasty. And I think if you had a midfield three of Loftus-Cheek, Kante, and Jorginho, that would be cool. That would be cool. And and Emerson, throwing him in there as well. But the thing about this things are always very interesting because it's 2 legs. It's 2 legs. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, do away goals count in the Carabao Cup, or do they only count in the Champions League? I'm not sure whether away goals are in order here. So, but I just think that, you know, so with this being the first leg, I think Tottenham wants a big lead. They want a big lead going into Stamford Bridge. So I think Tottenham will definitely be. So that's to say again. So this is where tactics come in. I think Tottenham, knowing that this first leg is at home, the pressure is on them to win. They definitely want to win big. So they'll definitely try to come out and play a very aggressive game on the front foot. I think Chelsea, knowing that, I do believe that the temptation, knowing that Tottenham will be desperate for a big win, is all right. We have to go small and go quick. So let's have perhaps a Hazard, maybe Willian, Callum Hudson-Odoi front three, so we can go small and go big. But I think that's a wrong temptation to have. I just feel that if Chelsea should take a much more mature, measured approach to this and go with a Giroud, a target man, a presence in the box, and let's Hazard, Hudson-Odoi, and a marauding Loftus-Cheek now try and say something through there. But I think for Tottenham, they have to be wary now. Yes, go and win big, but do it in a smart way. You don't want to be caught on the break, and you don't want to pretty much oversell yourselves. But I do think that in a game like this, I think Lucas Moura is going to be huge. I think Lucas Moura, for me, in the Premier League, I don't think there are many players who are better than Lucas Moura breaking from midfield. As in, if you're a defender, you are terrified of Lucas Moura. That guy is, because Guy dribbles really well at speed. That's not many people can do that. I think Eriksen's use of the ball, remember, people are looking at Eriksen right now, man, Barcelona. I think Eriksen's use of the ball, his distribution is going to be very key. It's going to be very key. And I think what I've always said about Eriksen, if you can add some goals to his game, I think that will take him to the next level. I think that will take him up to tier 2 and perhaps even the upper echelon of tier 2. I still think he's a guy flirting between tier 3 and tier 2, but I think he's now showing that form of like, yo, double H, man, give your boy that tier 2 hang. So, yeah, man, thoughts of this game? I really feel Chelsea will have a different tact. Unless Sarri is a psycho, I don't feel that it's going to go the same way as it did in the league game. I think Chelsea would have learned from their mistakes there. But put that Wolves game to one side, this is a very good Tottenham team. Son is a huge miss. I think, for me, and again, Son was one of the instigators of that ass beating that Tottenham gave Chelsea. So I think Son not being there, I think, is a huge factor in favour of Chelsea, but I think despite that, Tottenham win the game. But I do feel Chelsea get a G, and I'm looking at a 2-1. I'm looking at a 2-1. I think Chelsea get a G, but I think Tottenham get more Gs than Chelsea in the game. I think Tottenham hold fort, and they do eventually get the win. I think that sets things up very nicely and very well poised for the second leg back at the Bridge. But again, I think, like, it's weird. Put it this way. Tottenham are more desperate to win this cup. I think Sarri is more desperate to win this cup. I think Sarri is really desperate to get a trophy, and I think he feels that. I think even he feels as well, yo, man, in a one-off game against Man City, neutral venue, we can get that. So I think Chelsea have a better chance of beating Man City in a one-off game than I think Tottenham do, based on how many times City have beaten Tottenham under Pochettino's watch. And for Sarri, okay, I think he got beat earlier in the preseason, but he got that ass in the league. So, yeah, man, I'm rolling with a 2-1. A 2-1 to Tottenham in this, but I do really feel like it's going to be a pretty cool game. And watch for me, I might probably be on UFF doing something very interesting on this game. So tune into UFF for that during the game, and of course, come back here for the post-match analysis. Peace. Thanks for watching the video. Now think about becoming a Football Hot patron by pledging an amount each month and then gain access to exclusive content only on the Football Hot Patron page. Peace. Head over to the official site at halffootballhot.com or just click over here.